Hello and welcome finally to This Is Not the Podcast You Are Looking For. My name is Alex,
My name is Justin.
and today we have a little episode about the Book of Boba Fett. To start off today's episode, I thought we should talk about our overall thoughts on the series so far. So, what do you think, Justin? What's your thoughts?
I really like it. I do think it's a little underwhelming for such
Mm,
a character, but I mean, I like it. I like
yeah,
it a lot. So,
no, I agree with that. I saw an article yesterday. I didn't really read much into it, but I read like mainly the headlines and stuff. There's some people out there that are pretty upset with what they've done because in return they brought his like entire character to an end, and like it was like his I I can't say valiant end because he got elbowed in the face
yeah,
and then he fell and died. But like
yeah,
I do agree with that, like the underwhelming factor, and I do agree, I guess, somewhat that it was very random that they just decided to resurrect him.
people are saying like Din is cooler than Boba, and I
Yeah,
mean, I guess that's what they're going for,
yeah,
because
yeah.
Boba's not trying to be this bounty hunter that's like ruthless anymore. He
No,
said he wants to rule by respect rather than fear. So he's not gonna go around
yeah, exactly.
being
Cause
this badass that he
yeah,
was.
yeah, you can see like all the people are like that's the one thing is because like they just got used to Jabba being like the guy who runs everything, and he ran by intimidation and just like killing people and like filling the shoes of
Yeah,
Jabba, and then being like, I'm not gonna be like Jabba. I'm actually just gonna like I'm gonna run this place based on respect, and it will be beneficial for both parties in this situation. You can tell most people don't take him seriously, and he thinks it's because of his helmet, but like also it's just kind of how things went around there. I think everyone was used to it
yeah,
because Jabba ran things for so long.
yeah, and they had to be like tough around him.
Exactly.
Whereas with Boba, they don't have to be, so they don't really take him as serious.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm really liking the series so far. It's
Yeah, me too.
even with all like the extra little stuff that we were talking about before, like it's still an amazing series so far. Great music
Yeah,
too. Great music.
yes, yeah,
I love, if there's one thing I love the most about Star Wars, it's the music, and it's so good. And the one thing our friend Max was talking about, shout out to Max, the one main critique he had was that too many flashbacks and not enough of like what Boba's actually
yeah,
doing in current time. Which, I mean, I get that, but it's also called the Book of Boba Fett, so I guess it makes more sense. Like, it's picking up right from after Return, and it's like how he got here. So I think that's what they're mainly trying to do.
yeah,
But also, a lot of people want to be like, how much of a badass is he today? Like, show us some more action. But like, I am also a big fan of lore, so I do like that as well. Even
yeah,
if
me
some people
too.
don't like it as much. I thought it was really interesting that he just kind of became one with the Sand People. You see like the transition from like being a prisoner to being like, oh, this guy's like kind of cool. He just saved one of the little kids or whatever, and then he just
Yeah,
straight up becomes one of them. And then you can see like he is actually like really moved and like saddened by like the massacre and whatnot. Like
yeah,
he's not like dead inside like some other villains in Star Wars and whatnot.
yeah. He can show emotion.
Yeah. And moving things along a little bit. So on Wednesday, we saw a new episode of Book of Boba Fett, episode 5. I think it was called Return of the Mandalorian, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So everyone was losing it over this one because we saw the return of Din Djarin, and he's awesome. So,
Yeah,
um, and we saw the return to Mandalore, what's left of it, meaning two other Mandalorian like underground. There's a lot of turning points. Like out of nowhere they discover that he's taken his helmet off and he's essentially banished from Mandalore, and we get references to Grogu, who at this point is off with Luke Skywalker, who is supposed to be training him as a Jedi, as far as we know. There are some theories that I'm sure every Star Wars fan has right now that they are dying to have come to fruition. To begin, I think like the main thing that we definitely should be seeing is a meetup with Luke in the next episode, right?
yeah, probably because it hints towards him quite a bit because he obviously said that he wants to go visit Grogu Grogu's with Luke.
Hmm.
And then also the fact that he can like barely use the dark saber. It's like
Yeah,
difficult for
he
him. So I think he's gonna want to get training from Luke.
exactly. Yeah, and also another fun fact is that the actor who played not the older guy, but one of the X-wing pilots was actually the guy who he was the actor under the CGI, and like you can kind of see it when you look at him. But
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, I think that shows that he's already in the series. So
like, why not bring him back and have him play
yeah,
Luke again? Yeah, and it's like
yeah,
it's right there. Like you have the
yeah,
technology. Like
yeah,
personally, I would love to see Sebastian Stan as Luke though, because it's uncanny how similar they look. If they just give him
yeah.
a
You don't
shave
need
and
as much
he's
CGI.
yeah, you literally like someone edited that. They just like took off his beard and gave him new hair, and he legitimately was just a New Hope Luke, and it was really strange.
Yeah,
But it was like awesome because I'm also like a really big fan of Sebastian Stan because I'm a big Marvel fan. So you know that would be
yeah,
awesome to see as well. And like you just knowing that it's not like CGI and it's just a regular person that looks like uncannily like like Mark Hamill. And Mark Hamill himself has been in favor of this. He's like,
he
you don't need
has.
you don't need my permission. Do it. Like,
Yeah, yeah. He basically said you can do it.
yeah, he's like, you don't need to ask me. Like, this is like, I'm pretty sure he posted like a side by side picture, like laughing about it and like agreeing that it's something that they need to do.
He might have. Yeah,
But yeah, that's something that I think is more realistically going to be in at least the next episode, I'm sure.
yeah.
But
Probably the direct next episode.
yeah, because
Hopefully.
the last line of episode 5 was that he needed to pay a visit to a friend, which obviously is Grogu because he got, you know, his
He
little
gets the
gift.
gift for him.
Yeah, he has the gift for him. I think, as you were saying, it could definitely be like a lightsaber slash dark saber like training session because we saw Din Djarin trying to use Darksaber, but he doesn't know how to follow like its power. He tries to overpower it, and it's just getting
Yeah,
heavier and
ended up
heavier.
hitting himself with it.
he stabbed himself, not like stabbed himself, but he like slashed himself in the leg.
Yeah,
But yeah, it explained that like trying to fight it made it feel heavier and heavier with every swing. So if he doesn't learn to control it, then he's never going to be able to use it. And the fact that they made it such a primary point in his like appearance, like I feel
yeah,
like that they have to have him meet up with Luke or at least some Jedi to help him out. And I feel like Luke is a good candidate for that.
yeah.
Yeah, moving on. A theory that I myself am very in favor of. Possible cameos of Cal Kestis. For those of you who don't know, Cal Kestis is the main character in Jedi Fallen Order, the EA game, and it's amazing, and anyone who hasn't played it yet should definitely go play it because it's addicting. But amazing story. If you see when Din goes to get his new starfighter that hasn't been built yet, there's a little droid walking on two legs, walking around, and that is a BD unit, not necessarily BD1 from Jedi Fallen Order, but we've never seen a droid like that. But the only time we have seen it is in Fallen Order, so I feel like that had to have been some kind of hint at it, because I'd be so sad if it wasn't.
Yeah, especially because it wasn't there before.
No, never.
So it's a new unit. So new robot to the Star Wars, basically,
Yeah,
for movies and TV shows. So
exactly. Yeah,
to
yeah.
kind of put it there and give him like 10 seconds of him on screen, and then he gets destroyed by whatever had jumped out at him. But
Yeah.
well, not destroyed. He ends up limping the exact same way he does in the game.
Yeah,
So
that's
they
another
probably
callback.
yeah, they probably used the same stuff from the game to
Yeah,
kind of put him
because
into the world.
yeah, because in the game I think he gets shocked by something or whatever. No, he gets attacked by one of the the things living on the planet or whatever. I haven't played it in a while. I don't remember what the place was called, but
Yeah,
it was one of those big ugly like things that Cal had to kill or run away from or whatever. But it attacked BD1, and then his one of his legs was shocking, and then like had a little limp, like a little dog or something. That's what everyone loved BD1 for, is because he had such a personality, like similar to like how R2 has a personality. Like BD1 has a very distinct personality, and like It's the only droid I think anyone has ever seen that you think that's like adorable. Like it's literally like a pet.
Yeah,
But that is like the exact limp that he had. And I feel like if they're playing with us, I will be very, very sad.
yeah. Like if it's just like a 10-second, just little like nod to Fallen Order instead of anything else, that would be a little disappointing.
Yeah, they'll have a lot of angry fans because of that. Because if there's anything we know, Star Wars, 50% of the time they will hint at something and then it will
All
happen.
connected.
Yeah, it'll all connect and it'll work. And then the other 50% of the time they throw like a small detail in for fan service, but it's not actually part of the story.
Yeah.
But one good thing, director of episode 6 is Dave Filoni.
Mhm.
So that could
And Bryce Dallas Howard.
yeah. So
Very good
that
job
could
on that.
that could mean good things. Yeah, I'm really hoping that they get Cal in there at some point, even just like a small scene, because literally it would be so easy because it's legitimately just like live action CGI. They don't need to change anyone. They don't need to get an actor in because Cal is his actor. Like,
Yeah, they just have to have him age a little bit with like makeup and stuff,
and that's
or
like
straight up CGI.
yeah, that's so easy to do. Because I mean, at this point, because Jedi Fallen Order was set after the Republic's fall, so by the time, let me think, by the time Return came out, because Luke was 19 when A New Hope happened. How many years passed between that? Do you know?
I don't know.
It wasn't too long.
No, it
It
wasn't
was
that long.
only in a few years. So if Cal, he looks probably like I don't know his exact age from Fallen Order, but he looks like he's around 20 or so,
He's
somewhere around there.
28.
28.
Yeah,
At at
the actor is 28.
okay.
In the game, I think it was 17, I think.
Yeah. So
So I mean, the actor is already much older.
he'd probably be closer to 40 when Luke is probably like in his 20s.
Yeah,
Um so that they don't even have to make him look that old. They just have to give him like a couple like, you know, blemishes and stuff to make him look a little bit older.
mhm,
Like give him a beard or something.
yeah,
Something, because he doesn't have to necessarily lose his hair or something. Like just give him a beard, make him look older somehow,
yeah.
and like that would be so cool. But
It would.
I don't know. I'm excited to see what they can do with it, and I got high hopes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those are the main theories and details about the most recent episode that we had to talk about. But do you have any more general like predictions for the rest of Boba Fett?
I think it's gonna turn from Boba Fett centered to a little bit more Mando centered and kind of like lead into Mandalorian season 3. And then instead of like the group, how it was like at first, like Cara Dune, Din Djarin, Grogu, and some other people, and then with Bo-Katan coming in, like that group, I think instead of that group, it's going to switch to Fennec and Boba and
Yeah,
some other people. So I think that's going to be the group that we see in season 3. So I think it's
yeah,
just going to end up leading into that
I
because
think so.
only 2 episodes left, and to complete a story that is kind of like all over the place with Boba would be too difficult. So I think it's going to just lead into that.
Yeah, I agree with that because they had, the Boba crossover in Mando season 2, and now that they're bringing Mando into Boba Fett, I feel like Mando season 3 definitely is gonna have more Boba than probably anyone else at that point. I feel like they're gonna kind of go hand in hand at this point. I don't know if they're planning on making a Book of Boba Fett season 2 or if they're gonna give
I don't.
Boba another series or anything. But I feel like he definitely will appear in more Mando stuff. And
Yeah.
Mando will probably stick around for the remainder of the series, is my guess, because everyone lost it when Boba Fett showed up in Mando, and so, in the same
Yeah.
way, everyone lost it when Din showed up in episode 5. I think it's pretty obvious that he's going to be here at least for episode 6, and I'm sure episode 7 as well,
Yeah.
because he said he had to visit a friend and they haven't done anything with Boba yet and they needed his help for something. So I'm sure we'll see at least a little bit of Grogu and hopefully Luke, maybe Cal, question mark. But yeah, that was the other thing. In Fallen Order, Cal his main objective is to reconnect with the Force and to rebuild the Jedi Order, and that's also what Luke is trying to do after Return, and that's why he disappears and whatnot. And we do know that sort of happens. He did start teaching other Force sensitive beings.
I think it could be that they are together, and then we see the backstory of maybe how they got together.
That'd be cool.
Instead of being like in the TV show, it'll be in the next Jedi Fallen Order game, because they are making a sequel.
Yeah,
I don't know if it is. I'm guessing it's still going to be with Cal.
Yeah, I think it is.
Because at the end, Grizz was like, "Oh, I'd still work with you guys." So I'm guessing it's going to be like the same people doing some other missions, and maybe that mission is instead of finding Force sensitive kids, like find any other surviving Jedi.
Yeah, they're adding 3 new games, 3 Star Wars games. They're adding a Star Wars Jedi series game, meaning a series following Jedi Fallen Order. So it's just not going to be Jedi Fallen Order, it's going to be Jedi something else. They're adding a Star Wars strategy game and another first-person shooter. That'll be interesting to see as well.
Yeah.
And those are the main things that we wanted to talk about today. I have high hopes for the rest of Boba and for upcoming Mando season and for the new game coming out. I think they could easily get those all to tie in, and every Star Wars fan would be so happy, I can tell.
Yeah.
Definitely something that I think they should consider doing.
Yeah, anyone's going to be happy seeing Luke again.
For sure, yeah. And, so many Star Wars fans played Fallen Order, so the Cal possibility would just hit it home for everyone else.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good thing. But anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of This Is Not the Podcast You Are Looking For. As always, may the Force be with you, and we will see you in the next episode. See you later.